Out of every conceivably controversial topic that I've ever discussed, ever, out of the most difficult discrimination I've ever had to, well, I say that figuratively and somewhat mockingly, but still it's true. The problems I've had to deal with has to do with eating, food, dieting, and letting people know what you eat. Eating is still the most confounding issue for most Americans who fight with weight, health, weight-related maladies and diseases and the like, diabetes and hypertension, you name it, and still can't figure it out. The billions of dollars spent on diets and diet aids and discussion. And eating is the simplest thing around. But people will talk themselves out of it. It's fascinating. People don't understand that what we are talking about in terms of eating is about not just health and not just, looking good, but living without disease, if at all possible, especially as you get older, because it's an investment. Listen, when you're young, you can do whatever you want, but it is incredible. When I went about 14 years ago, plant-based, I don't say the V word, I don't say it, I'm plant-based, okay? Plant-based, that's it. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I didn't tell anybody anything. I didn't lecture anybody. I just kind of kept it quiet. And then when somebody would say, hey, I noticed, would you like some of this? No, that's okay. I know. Why? What's the matter? Sometimes it's like when people don't drink. What's the matter? Why aren't you drinking? I just don't want. Well, why not? Well, if you think that's something, wait until you tell somebody you don't eat meat. And they will look at you with amazement, contempt, stultifying curiosity. I'm going to explain to you the secret of feeling great. A secret that nobody will listen to. Health benefits that you cannot possibly find fault with, that nobody wants to hear. But I think you might, so in any event, listen carefully. But first, oh yes, a word from our sponsor. Here's how it went. About 14 years ago, for a reason I don't want to go into it, it's not that interesting, I wanted to do something really to change the way I lived, my lifestyle. I was, and still am, in my heart, the consummate carnivore. I love meat. Keep the sides. Just let me eat the meat. My number one passion then and still now, because I've never lost it, is barbecue. Barbecue beef ribs, Texas style, and number one, and anything pork. Pork, whole hog, chicharrones, crackling, just anything. I love it. I've never once ever said, you know what, I've lost the taste for it. I haven't. I live a pretty monastic lifestyle. I don't involve any kind of stimulants other than coffee. I live a pretty, I don't want to say boring. It's not boring at all. I just don't, and that's fine. I don't care about that. No wine, not interested in that. But meat, oh God, I watch meat documentaries like I don't want to say meat porn. That's terrible to say this, but but I mean, almost to the point where I watch food blogs sometimes and think, oh my God, I love that. Oh my God. But about 14 years ago, I said, I got to do something. Because, you get to the back nine, and I went to a doctor, and he said, let me ask you something. He said, we can do different cholesterol things and all that kind of jazz. And, you can try to eat a little bit better. Nobody really does. I mean, how do you eat less and how do you, whatever. He said, would you ever think about going vegetarian? I don't know why. A couple of years ago, if somebody would have said that, I'd say, did you ever think about not breathing? I say, vegetarian? Oh, dear God, no. What is the matter with you? Vegetarian? Bear, please, dear God. Vegetarian? No meat? No. Because like most people, I came up with all these. Well, you see, we're a carnivore. Here you got this thing here. And we point these little canines as though this little thing is somehow, indicative of some flesh-ripping, some wolf or something. And this justifies, a Brazilian churrascaria, something because of this. And I don't want to go through this. But we all did this. We all had to say, it's good for you. And this is what I would have said then. But something said, you know what? Let me read about this. So I read this book called The China Study by Colin Campbell. And that was like a light. And I, believe it or not, I'm going to say something which is perhaps maybe the strangest thing I've ever said, but I'm going to say it. I wanted something to do in my life at that point that was demonstrative. I've never run a marathon. I don't think I'd ever run one. Don't want to run one. I have an argument for that too. You see, we are bipedal versus quadrupeds. We're unable to translate energy, and therefore we're not designed to run, and it's unnatural. I've got an argument for that too. But anyway, I really want to do something which I think is demonstrative, something that makes a real impact, it takes a lot of guts to do that. So I said, all right, I'm going to try it. And then later on, they got into full-blown, we don't say the V word, we say whole foods, plant-based. Actually, plant-based, whole foods, no oil. This is the one I'll get to in a moment. 14 years, been doing great. I've got the cholesterol levels of an infant. I feel terrific. I have lost a ton, of weight then. Weight was always a problem all my life. Always. And believe it or not, when you meet somebody and you tell somebody, well, I don't. The first question is, well, where do you get your protein? And they look concerned. Where do you get your protein? Do you get your protein? You get enough protein? Dave, I'm worried about you. Do you get enough protein? Well, yeah. You get enough protein? Are you sure? Do you get enough protein? They're worried about this. One guy he asked me, as he was smoking a cigarette, so help me God, at a funeral, this sounds like a joke. As he's tamping on a cigarette, he says, where do you get your amino acids? I said, you're worried about amino acids. Is that what you get them from food, plants, beans, legumes, green leafy vegetables, fruit. What? Because we have this idea that the protein comes from an animal. Calcium comes from where? That's right, milk, dairy. No. Food, breakfast, fruit, green peppers and this and that, or green leaf, kale, beans. What? Calcium. And protein. Protein. We love protein. Got to get enough protein. God. When was the last time anybody ever went to a doctor and doc says, you need more protein? Unless you're starving yourself or you're some kind of a camp or something. Or God forbid you have an eating disorder, maybe that's a problem. But most people do not have that. Oh, also they say, well, this is the best one ever. I tell people too. And I stay away from olive oil. You what? What? Olive oil. Olive oil. That's good for you. But there's 100% fat. What? That's where people go, my grandmother's Italian. I said, what does that have to do with anything? Listen to the logic. It's good for you. It's good. It's good. It's good fat. Good fat? Well, that's, I read this. Good fat? What are you talking about? Well, when was the last time a doctor ever told you, Jerry, you got to get more fat? You got to get more fat. Nobody's ever said this. You get plenty of fat. Fat is not a problem. Believe me, there's one thing Americans don't eat is fat. That's why I don't tell anybody. So if in the event, if for some particular reason you feel it incumbent upon you to pursue this, I wish you the best. Please contact me if you'd like. I'll be able to help you any way you can. It's your decision. Please check with your doctor. I'm no physician. I'm not a doctor. I'm not. But I want you to understand something. You will meet people who are as focused on dietary biases than you could ever imagine. I'm just warning you. So remember, see your physician, not a doctor, not giving you any advice. No. But it's been done for a gazillion years, and read Colin Campbell, read Caldwell Esselstyn, go through, just read, just, and what it's been done to reverse heart disease, it's just incredible. Incredible. The medicine, the magic of food, your endothelium will thank you. Look it up. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much for watching. Please put your thoughts and comments down. I want to see what you have to write. Please write. Don't hold back. I want to see what they are. Write, speak. Also, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And also hit that little bell so you'll be notified of new videos and the like. And whatever you do, please, I beg, beseech, implore, and import you to comment as you see fit.